First of all, I do not intend to make you a clerk. To make you a clerk, there's one book missing. That's what it takes to be a clerk. Okay? This is not, oh, by the way. So, the reason why I show you these is because when you go out there, that clerk and assistant clerk and their married people have done one hellacious amount of work, and they get paid $1.80. Okay? Not only do they have training to go through, formal training, but it literally takes 3 to 4, sometimes 5 elections, if they can last that long, before they actually reach a point where they know enough about this to stay out of trouble.
And then they change everything.
That plus, I mean, you got to understand, there must be 6 million factoids in here that they must know. Not only must know them, but they have to know when to apply them. Because factoid 1 may apply in situation 1, 3, 9, and 15, but none of the others. And they have to be wise enough, smart enough, knowledgeable enough to make those decisions. Okay? So I'm not trying to make you that person, but I want to make sure you understand that these people are not our enemy. When I was out there, I was not your enemy. Even though you would come out there as poll watchers and were absolutely convinced that I was there specifically to get at you. Okay? That's not the case. They are a citizen, no different than you. The difference is they volunteer as citizens to run the poll. You are volunteering as a citizen to watch them run the poll, hopefully efficiently, effectively, legally. Okay? 2 roles done by whom? Us. Okay? They're not your enemy. Don't treat them that way. Okay? Really important to me. And it really should be important to you too. Okay? We'll review your role briefly. Your role is very simple. We'll talk about your environment. So basic information, how the poll worker is going to deal with the voter, forms that you're going to see out there, the equipment that you're going to see out there, and kind of what it does. And then we'll talk about closing the poll. Okay? Any questions about that? This is a quick brush. As you go through, if you have questions, you get the little handout there, write notes down. One of the things we'll do at the end is we'll hand out a list of things, a checklist really, of things you should watch for, okay? And they will fit into these various categories right here for recording and future development. This is you, poll watcher basics. All right, you see those 2 numbers, Florida statute? Write them down, or at least highlight them. Your homework is to get the law book, which is on site, on the internet. You can get it through both the Supervisor of Elections office and the Secretary of State's office.
Division of Elections.
Division of Elections. Okay? Because that's the law. Those are the 2 statutes. You need to be able to find them. Matter of fact, I suggest that you reproduce them and bring them with you. Because there are going to be clerks out there who don't know what I am going to be telling you right now.
And they're just a few paragraphs each.
That's
Can you tell
right.
us again where to find those?
Right there. Oh, the Division of Elections. That's floridastate.gov Division of Elections. And it will be in there. Now, it takes some drilling down.
Florida spelled out?
FL.
Yeah, and if you Google it, it's really easy to find. And then on the left side, there's legislative and laws. Laws and rules is one of the menus on the left side.
Laws and rules, thank you. Yes, on the left-hand side, laws and rules. And you'll find it.
What is it again?
Yeah, there'll be a link in there for the
Florida
law.
State.
Sure.
Yep, and
So
Division of
all I have
Elections.
to do is Google Florida Statute 101.111.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Just Google that, right?
Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
Okay.
Okay? It'll bring you to, if not that statute specifically, at least to the law book.
Next time we'll have them printed for you, sorry.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I ran out of time today. But, see, we're learning here too. This is our first print. Next time we should be better. And the reason why I suggest you bring it with you is because, again, the clerk, assistant clerk might not know what it is themselves. And they give you a hard time in carrying out your role. If they do, sorry, clerk. Here is your legal obligation to me. Violate it, and you and I will have to talk to the supervisor. Okay? All right, so bring it with you. But your function is simple, straightforward. Watch and observe electeds and their officials. That's it. Watch and observe. That is the legal requirement or legal authority of a poll watcher. You will represent a candidate, party, or ballot initiative group. In this case, you're representing individual candidates. Deepa Shah, Terry Kemple,
Stacy White.
and Stacy White. Governor Scott has done his own team. These other people don't have enough physical support like us to do it, so we're kind of trying to fill in for them. Your requirements. Be no closer to official tables than necessary to carry out your function. Always a contention. Guys, the poll watchers that don't know any better, they go, excuse me, I'm gonna see that. You can't do that. Okay? You do that, you get thrown out. If I was the clerk, you would be thrown out. Okay? But you can go like this, if that's the table, if the clerk has allowed you that amount of space. Okay? So don't crowd them and don't push them. Remember, carry out your function. What's your function? To observe. Nothing more. Okay? Well, was any question or comment to the clerk and the clerk only? Not the assistant clerk, not the deputy, no one. Carry on no conversation other than, hi, how are you, nice day, I'll see you when we close. Okay, that's it. Question about that. It's important.
I guess ignorance or whatever on my part. So are the clerks or assistants, they're at the polls like the whole time when
The whole
people are
time.
voting?
Yes.
Never noticed, I guess.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Just,
They run the site.
I mean, are they at the table checking people in or?
No.
They
feeding
are at the
ballots
voter
in,
assistance
or-
table, and they solve problems. They solve problems on the floor. They solve problems at the assistance
there's
table.
probably somebody
They
that's
solve
solving
problems
them.
outside. They are responsible for the site. Okay? This is not, oh, by the way, they are the boss. If the supervisor doesn't like them, his alternative is to fire him. That's how much authority the clerk under law has. If he goes illegal, this is important. Now, they understand this, so they won't go illegal knowingly, most of them anyway. You're subject to a first-degree misdemeanor, $5,000 and you're in jail.
And who goes illegal?
The clerk. So as a volunteer, I put myself at that level of risk for you to come out and vote. They're not your enemy. Okay? Clerk only. Do not communicate with a voter. No comment. No discussion. Not even nothing. No body motion, no verbal motion, no eye contact that can be construed as an effort to sway them. None. That will get you thrown out.
And these are laws too, they're not
Yeah,
just our
this is-
directions,
this is
these are
in the law.
laws.
What if they ask you, a voter asks you a question?
Cannot respond. I'm sorry, ma'am, I cannot talk to you. Please address your question to the clerk. Okay? Wear your badge. You will get a badge. And it must be presented to the clerk when you walk in. They may or may not have you sign in, depends on what the supervisor is doing for policy at that point. But you wear it all the time you're in there. And do not interfere with site operations at all. Okay? You get my way as the clerk, I would tell you one time, you're bothering us. You're interfering with the flow of my voters. I cannot get my job done with you doing this. Either do what I say, or you will leave. And I will make it that clear. Not all clerks will do that. Voter challenge. You may challenge a voter. What does that mean? Say you know that John Smith lives in your neighborhood and he's a convicted felon, but he's there to vote. Clerk, he's a convicted felon. I wish to challenge him. And we'll show you the form. At that point, the clerk stops everything, gets you the form, you fill out the form. One copy goes to the clerk, one copy goes to the voter, and that voter now must vote provisionally.
So you can do that while there's a whole line of
Yeah,
voters,
absolutely.
and the voter's right there.
Absolutely.
So that's not considered interfering with site operations
That is
or...
your right under law. Once again, you need to get that and look at it.
Okay.
And if the clerk gives you a hard time, there it is, bam. That's this one.
Okay.
And under that circumstance, you go directly and only directly to the clerk. And you don't-
I shouldn't mention that again, because you're only gonna talk to clerk, period, ever. No discussion with anyone else for
But
any
you
other
would do
reason.
it verbally and then put it in writing, because it says it there, must be in writing.
Must
so
be in writing. So
you
you
would
go to
ver-
the clerk, that guy right there, ma'am, I'm sorry, I believe he's a convicted felon, I wish to challenge him.
The clerk.
Okay, clerk goes into a binder, brings out the form, gives you 2 forms, please fill it out. One goes to him, one goes to the clerk. He must now do a provisional ballot. Okay, what's important about this, if it's frivolous, you go to jail. It's a first-degree misdemeanor if you are convicted of a frivolous challenge. How many people have been convicted of frivolous challenges? 17 years I've been doing this, none that I'm aware of.
How many challenges have you seen?
There have, me personally, none. And that means about 100 to 110,000 voters during my time, 120,000 voters during my time. Not a
I've
single
never
challenge.
seen a challenge.
But they do occur. The way they do occur on occasion, what's going to happen this year is we're going to mail them in.
It was in 2012 as well. We submitted hundreds, on over 100.
So
in
the
2012.
records are going to show challenge. They come in, the books and the even machines will show that there's a challenge on these people. And then the system, the clerk, will have to interrupt that flow. You won't do it. They will. What is frivolous? Okay, Greg's come in here with a motley-looking attire. I don't like the way he's dressed, that's frivolous. Okay? He just tried to run me off the road. I know it, I saw him personally. Then he came in and did not challenge that guy. He must be a jerk. That's frivolous. But if you honestly believe that there's something not right with his record and his authority, legal authority to vote, then that is in good faith. And nobody will talk to you about it other than to process it. Okay? But, frivolous is, you have to be pretty